In this episode, the new Porsche Macan EV, Honda's brand new Accord, and Buick's Century Minivan. Welcome to episode 137 of the We Are Auto Show. What's up, Derek?
Mr. Michael Rao, did you know our YouTube channel has a new playlist?
I've heard.
Yes, it is for car spots, which is kind of interesting, and we're going down the shorts path, which is something that YouTube is trying, so we're trying it out as well. Whereas very short 10, 20-second videos, but you'll get to see interesting car spots that we've seen. McLarens, Ferraris, Paganis inevitably, kind of anything and everything.
Yeah, which it's kind of cool how people seem to be liking the videos of car spots we're putting out. So,
Yes, they do.
check it out. YouTube is We Are Auto. So, ready to get in some news?
Let's do it.
All right. So, let's start with some Porsche news. Not just because I'm a fanboy, but because there is actual news to talk about.
All right.
So, we've known for a while that Porsche has been kind of starting to tickle around with the idea of EVs since its launch of the Taycan, right? And then we knew they were going to tickle around a little more with some other EVs, such as like the Boxster and the Macan.
Yeah, hasn't the Boxster been spotted recently?
It's been spied, testing, but I don't have any news about that because it's just been spied. There's been not a lot of numbers out about it yet. But Porsche has teased some numbers about the new Macan EV. So the 2024 Macan EV, which is an electric version of the Macan SUV, which... side note, my stepmom is getting one, and congrats to her. In gentian blue with silver wheels. Oh,
Is it just me, or do you ever get confused from Macan to Cayenne?
no, it's just
Really?
you.
I'm sure there are other people out there.
No, you're the only one on Earth.
There's no way. There's no way.
I'm sure you're not the only one on Earth, but for me, no, I am very clear in which is which.
All right. Tell me about this Macan EV.
Okay, so the Macan EV apparently is going to ride on some new electric system thing. So you know how Chevy has, what's it called, the Ultium?
The Ultium
Right,
platform.
which is essentially a skateboard with electric motors. Porsche's version is called the PPE. So the PP. The PP!
All right.
That's wonderful. Oh, Porsche.
Yes, marketing. Yes.
Yes. Would you like a PPE?
I'll take one.
It stands for Premium Platform Electric.
Really?
Yes.
Really? That's the acronym they had to come up with. They could have had anything and everything for marketing, and that's what they came up with.
They could have gone PEP, the Premium Electric Platform, and then it wouldn't
Anything.
just be a PP.
Are they like Elon? Are they memeing at this point?
I'm honestly not sure because we're talking about it, and it's kind of occurring to me that they literally just named their electric platform a dick.
Yeah. And they could have named it anything and everything.
Literally anything.
Anything.
Oh, okay. Porsche, well done.
All right.
Clarkson is proud. So let's get some information about the Porsche penis platform thing with the Macan EV. Apparently, the new premium platform electric, this new Macan EV is going to be the first to ride on its fancy platform. So the Taycan has got kind of an outdated version. The new version is going to be debuting on the Macan
So
EV.
really, it took them this long to get this platform down? I'm surprised that the Taycan didn't initialize this.
I think the Taycan has an older version of this that's just not called the penis.
All right.
So that's my 2 cents, although I don't know that for sure. Apparently, the PPE platform is going to allow for both rear and all-wheel drive setups.
Okay. It's got a motor on every wheel.
Well, yes, correct. Apparently, this new Macan EV in its highest trim is going to max at 603 horsepower and 738 pound-feet of torque, which it's an EV. We expect it to have large numbers. That doesn't... It's always funny to me. I look at the numbers and I'm like, oh, wow, that's a lot. But then I go, okay, well, so is every other goddamn EV that's ever been created. So
Yes.
who cares, right? Now, the thing is Porsche is promising that the Macan EV is going to have some, I'm going to quote here, sharp driving dynamics. But I actually believe them.
Why?
Because the whole point of the Taycan is not range. It's to be able to have an EV that doesn't handle like an EV.
Yes.
The Taycan is touted as the EV that handles like a sports car.
Mm-hmm.
I can see them taking a lot of that same setup into the Macan EV. To take this even further, apparently the way they're going to do this is, part of the ways they're going to do this is they're going to give it what's called a performance rear axle, which means the rear electric motor is actually going to be mounted behind the axle. What they're trying to do is stick with the Porsche theme of rear engine in a Macan. They are arguing that this being, dare I say, an almost rear-engined SUV, it's going to give its weight balance closer to 4852. So it's a 911 EV SUV, essentially. A front and rear-engined 911 SUV. EV.
Yes, and it's air-cooled now, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sure. Okay. That seems really trying to market it to Porsche owners to me, because from an engineering perspective, it doesn't make much sense at all. But that's okay. That's what their brand is built on, so they kind of are stuck with it.
Yeah. Good. Apparently, their engineers say that being a more rearward weight distribution improves agility when accelerating out of corners. Well, yes, we know that. That's how that goes, right?
Right.
But it also improves deathly oversteer, which is fun. I will give it.
Controlled fun, yes.
Sometimes it's uncontrolled fun, too, but I digress.
The deathly part.
Correct, yes. As long as there's no walls to hit or ditches to go in. Right? If it's just a field, you get dirty. That's the way it goes. Now let's get into some more numbers. Apparently, this Macan EV is going to have a 100 kilowatt hour battery that they're stating is going to be able to charge from 5% to 80% in under 25 minutes.
It's a 100 kilowatt hour battery for an SUV?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. That's a little on the small side, in my opinion.
Which, again, I don't see this being the range maximizer SUV.
No,
just like the Taycan.
There's no way.
The Taycan is not the most maximum amount of range. It's just a more fun to drive EV that's luxurious. I see this being essentially a fatter version of the Taycan that's got a PP platform.
So you said 5 to 80% in how long?
Under 25 minutes. And they say this is due to an 800 volt electrical system.
800?
I don't get it. Again, as soon as we start talking about kilowatts and volts and things like this, I need simple numbers, horsepowers, torques, pounds, and...
To compare it to something, the Tesla Model 3, around 80 kilowatt hour battery pack, will do 350-ish miles of range and can charge in around 480 volts is what their superchargers were doing. 800 volt architecture is very, very big. That's a quick charge. Does it give you the range?
No, they have not released range yet.
That's kind of worrying. That's kind of very worrying.
I bet this range is like 310.
No, it's like 220.
You think it's be that low?
Yeah, it's low. Yeah. That's why you haven't heard a range yet. I suspect that they're trying to do things in the background to make it much better. And at that range, they're not competitive in the EV market. But we don't have official numbers from them yet, so we don't know.
True, but I also don't think they're trying to be competitive so much in the EV market, but just in the luxury car market that happens to be an EV.
Yes. I do think it's a good time for them to get in. This is a good approach to it. The obviously the skateboard battery PP thing, call it what you want. That's a good concept. It's going to be used in more than just this car. I would not be surprised if this is used in their 911, in the Boxer, in the Cayman, in whatever they make. They made it a rear engine. They wanted to keep the essence of the Porsche.
Yeah.
But they got to get that range up, and either you start layering batteries vertically, or you extend it out, or find a better way to improve the density of the batteries. And they'll have to figure out one of those, and that's what Tesla has been very good at lately. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, they obviously, with all the stupid regulations, they need to go more EV. But
Right.
by 2030, they're hoping to get 80% of all of its sales from EVs.
By 2030? Okay.
Which is in, well, let's see. We are 2022, carry the one. That's, well, at this point in time, but 7.25 years.
Right. That's a long time. But by that time, this battery that they're doing will be very good.
It's not long enough.
You don't think so?
No, I want it to be in the
well.
year 3,824, because then my future children's children will all be dead by then.
They said, what, 80% of their cars sales?
Yes.
So the 911 is still going to be a gas-powered vehicle.
It better. Or Porsche. Gonna get a knuckle sandwich.
Eventually it will happen. I think they'll hold off as long as possible, though.
Yeah. One more quick note about this car. Apparently, they're going from the 2-speed gearbox in the Taycan to a 1-speed gearbox in this.
Okay.
I don't
fine.
know if that means anything about anything for anyone.
Not
Why?
a ton in the EV world. You only need a gear. Usually you only need a gear.
How many speeds do you need?
Right.
Speed.
Right.
Yep. Well,
Interesting.
that's the new Macan EV. Is what it is. I don't particularly want it, but it's there. So.
We'll be very curious when a range number comes out.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's at least close to 300, but now that we're talking about it, I think you're probably right. I think it's probably low 200s, which we know the Taycan's, 240-ish?
Yeah, and that's like a sleek car. This doesn't look as aero.
Nope. It's not aero-ish. So, shall I move on to a very boring car?
Sure.
Okay.
I like boring.
This is the episode of boring, so you
Yes.
are in luck, my friend.
Exciting.
No mad supercars for this whole episode.
Ooh.
I know. So, the next bit of news is about a Honda, and it's about an Accord. How uninteresting can you be?
Now we're talking.
Oh my God. Apparently this new 2023 Accord is... Many articles are quoting this as the best looking Accord ever produced.
I've seen one picture of it, just the one we're looking at here, and I don't really like the look of it.
I really don't like it at all.
No.
I think it's way more uglier than the previous generation Accord.
Oh boy.
Who is saying this is the best looking Accord ever? Because they're just goddamn wrong. Oh my God, it's not pleasant. It's supposed to look much more luxurious and modern.
What is an Accord supposed to be?
Not that.
No, it's like your average business guy's daily driver. Comfortable, convenient, reliable.
I think an Accord should be the driver of a school teacher.
Yeah. I think that's a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
They're not probably interested in cars. That's fine. They just want a good, solid, well-built, will stay together vehicle that will get the job done.
Yes, but I think they also want it to look good. In my opinion, this doesn't even do that.
Yes, looks do play into that.
I think this is the most bland-looking car I've seen in a very long time.
Agreed.
Go to a picture of the front of it. That is just unsalted rice. There's no flavor to it. It's just like a blind guy describing what a car looks like.
All right, we'll come back to the looks. We agree. We don't like it. What else is there about this?
Not much.
Goodness.
So one bit of bad news is that the previous outgoing generation Accord, which is the 10th generation, this new one is the 11th generation Accord. The previous one had a powertrain in it that was surprisingly sporty. The previous Accord had a 2-liter turbo, 4-pot turbo.
Oh,
the old
okay.
one. And I never got a chance to drive it, but from everything I heard and read, it was like shockingly quick.
Yeah.
You've heard about that Accord 2-liter turbo then, haven't you?
Yes.
Right? I've heard it was quicker than, well, almost quicker than the Type R.
Whoa.
And it blasted the Civic Si out of the water. I do have some numbers. That old 10th generation Honda Accord with a 2-liter turbo, that developed 252 horsepower and 273 torques. It only weighed in at 3,370-ish pounds, and it did 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds.
Whoa.
Which, sure, it's not 2 seconds like a Tesla or a rocket-powered Bugatti or something, right? But it's an Accord. It's supposed to be 0 to 60 in 8.5 seconds.
I don't think my teacher needs that.
No. But the problem with the new Accord is they've gotten rid of the best part of the Accord.
The speed? Or the
Yes. The engine that was good.
What did they do with it?
They threw it in the trash.
And?
They gave it an updated hybrid, and they revised the base 1.5-liter turbo. Which does nothing. Which is awful.
Is it cheaper?
No.
Damn it.
No.
All right.
It's actually most likely going to be a little bit more expensive.
Of course.
Yeah, apparently, and here's a quote, Honda assures us that the hybrid drivetrain is much improved. That's wonderful. Nobody cares.
No. Much improved. How generic could you be?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, they took away the only thing that was good about an Accord. No, pardon me. They took away the only 2 things that were good about the Accord. The looks and the fact that it had an engine that was surprisingly quick.
Reliability. One good thing about an Accord.
We don't know because this
don't know.
Well, hold on. Apparently, the new hybrid is going to an Atkinson cycle engine versus the standard. So I don't know. Is it going to be more reliable or not?
What is an Atkinson?
The way cylinders fire and all that.
Okay.
Either way, the idea here is they've made it uglier and slower and fatter and more expensive, and they're claiming it's better.
Okay. Huh. Oh, all right. I don't like it too much, but
No.
all right.
No. So just to give you some more information, the only 2 non-hybrid trims you can buy this in are the LX and the EX. And like I said, they have this revised 1.5-liter turbo inline-4 with a fantastic CVT.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. The old Accord actually had a manual. You could buy it with a manual.
That's right.
Not anymore. No. Of course not. Apparently, it's going to keep the same amount of horsepower and torque at 192 horsepower and 192 torques, which is not enough for a car that's going to weigh probably 35 or 600 pounds. The other 4 trims, which are the Sport, EXL, Sport L, and Touring, are all hybridized. Great. Apparently, it's going to make 204 horsepower and 247 pound-feet of torque. So hold on. That means you are making 12 more horsepower. That's literally it.
Uh-oh.
Why? Why? Honda, why?
I don't know. This feels to me like they want to do the EV thing, but they couldn't commit to the EV thing. So they threw a hybrid together at the last second.
Well, they had a hybrid Accord before.
I know.
They've just updated it.
It just feels like a miss. It's weird.
Oh, showing and a miss in my eyes. I'm sure there's some people that are going to look at this very bland, boring, just 15 feet of metal-looking car and are going to go, wow, that's lovely.
Right.
But their opinion is wrong.
It's their opinion.
Which is wrong.
Will it still be the essence of an Accord will be the question. Will it still be reliable? Will it still get my teacher from point A to point B? That's what matters.
Hopefully.
That's all that matters.
Hopefully. And then And unfortunately, everyone's going to go, who's that? Oh, that's not the teacher. It's janitor. Sorry.
But should this have been an EV, do you think?
No. They should have left the same powertrains in it and made if they wanted to go down the EV route, make the hybrid better than only 12 horsepower over the standard.
I agree with that.
If they were going to do this more, the hybrid should be not just a hair better. It should be a hell of a lot better.
Half the engine better.
Right? Yeah. And I know I'm just droning on about horsepower numbers and torque and all this mumbo jumbo and shit, but at the end of the day, that's how the car is going to move from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to feel like a slouch getting onto the highway.
Yes.
If Honda wanted to really advance the Accord, they should have made the hybrid way better, and they should have taken that hybrid and given it 300 horsepower and 320 torque.
I agree. If you go back and you look at what the EV space has with Honda, you think of the Clarity Electric, which, oh God.
Not great.
You think of the Honda Fit EV, which was back in 2012, which was a thing. I never got to drive one. I don't. Have you seen one of those?
No.
I don't think I've
They
ever
may
seen
have been
one.
Europe only.
It may have been. And then you have the prototype-y car that they made, which was the Honda E, which
that
will
weird,
never
ugly-looking odd thing.
Yeah. So they don't have the experience to do it yet. And I suspect that this is a temporary hold to get the experience to be able to do it for the Accord. Now, I don't know why they didn't just stick with an ICE engine and just kind of ditch the hybrid altogether, because you can't just take the factory line that is building this hybrid thing and just convert it over to EV. It's not that simple. It's completely different. So I don't know. They should just kept what was going on. It was going real well. I'm pretty sure that the sales for the Accord were pretty good.
Yeah.
Everybody likes Accords. I've yet to hear of anyone that's like, I hate an Accord.
I actually thought the previous gen Accord was a very attractive looking thing.
Yes.
I mean, I would see it and I would just think, wow, I am surprisingly liking the look of that car.
Certain people will like the look of this car. You see people buying the BMW whatever,
yes, and
5
they're going
Series.
to buy it in that particular spec, which is like the old lady red with beige.
Mm-hmm.
It's people that think putting salt on their food is making it spicy.
Would your math teacher buy this? Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Not my physics teacher, though. My physics teacher had an old 911, so suck it.
Mine in high school actually had an S2000, and it was a girl, and it was a manual.
What?
Yeah. And she hooned it around. It was great.
God bless those fun teachers.
The physics teachers are awesome.
Yeah. So that's the new Accord. There's no official prices released yet, and they actually haven't released an official miles per gallon. They're giving it close to 48 is the guess, but who cares? Prices, again, not official, but based upon the pricing of the old trims, we're guessing the new Accord starting the LX trim at 28 grand, and most likely the highest trim is probably going to be right up at 40 to 45-ish.
It's a bit high.
That thing.
That's a bit high.
With no performance and no looks and no.
Like 30 to 35 is the sweet spot for an Accord.
Yeah, not a fan.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
All right, so you ready for some more not supercarness?
I'm ready.
Okay. So, would you ever consider yourself a van man?
Oh, would I ever?
Do you remember back in the day, those old conversion vans?
Yeah.
That had like 3 rows of captain's chairs and like it had the one like 4-inch TV screen and it was like just bitching.
Yes.
They usually had chrome wheels.
Uh-huh.
So apparently there's a country that still likes those kinds of things. China.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
I don't know much about China, but what I do know is that in the Chinese culture, the bigger and more posh, the better.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, a Ferrari is like nothing. But if you have like the biggest largest thing with the most amount of screen, then you are the Royal Supreme winner of life.
The G-Class Mercedes is top class.
Give me the biggest thing you can find.
Yes.
So apparently the folks in China also really like vans.
Okay.
Did you know that Buick makes minivans only for China?
Who?
Yeah, I said that.
Buick?
I said that. I said that correctly.
What?
Yep, that's what I said. Goddamn Buick.
My grandparents' vehicle
Yep.
is a Chinese baller van?
Yep.
What
Actually,
has this world come to?
It's touted as an ultra-luxury minivan.
What? That's
Yep.
amazing.
So apparently Buick sells these vans for the Chinese market only. And they've got this new Buick Century minivan. And I believe a Buick Century was like an old shitty sedan that Buick made here forever that was usually driven by someone's grandparents. I don't know.
That was a thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Huh.
Yeah. But let's talk about this new Buick Century minivan. Because there's a little bit inside of me that thinks I kind of don't hate it. So stay with me. So apparently, yes.
So for those listening audio, there's a top-down shot into this van, and it just looks like a whole bunch of captain's chairs. Just 3 rows of captain's chairs. You can only fit 6 people in it, but it is amazing looking. It's like movie theater seats just everywhere in this van.
Just absolutely dressed in like 20 layers of Napa leather. We'll get into that in a second. So apparently this Buick Century is the new flagship ultra-luxury minivan, which is going to be the highest spec of Buicks. They call them the GL8 family of vans that are offered only in China.
Dude, we need this.
I'm going to pose you a question in a minute.
We need this.
I'm going to pose you a question in a minute. Did you know there's also another manufacturer that makes vans specifically for China?
Who?
Lexus. Never in a million years would I have thought Lexus and Buick make Chinese-specific minivans for the ultra-luxurious Chinese baller.
Dang. That's crazy Top Gear stuff right there.
I didn't know this was a thing.
Neither did I.
So apparently this new Buick Century, you can get it either in a 6-seat configuration like we're looking at now, or you can get it in even less amount of seats at only 4.
What?
This immense amount of car, if you spec it correctly, can only fit 4 people. And that is the spec we're looking at right now.
Oh, what?
Yes!
Those seats look amazing.
Look at it. Oh, my God.
Holy moly.
They're like the most luxurious, comfortable-looking seats you've ever seen in your life.
You know the really fancy movie theaters?
Yeah.
Where they bring you a meal and like all that
Oh,
stuff?
yeah.
It's those seats.
Oh, even more.
Yeah.
So not only is it those seats, every seat in this is 18-way adjustable. All of them, 18-way adjustable comfort seats.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So let me give you some more information here. You get 5 independent heating zones with each seat. So do you want to heat your shoulders? Do you want to heat your butthole? Do you want to heat your neck or your toes?
Goodness gracious.
So, and with that whole heated seats thing, if your feet are a little cold, you have these extendable footrests that are also heated.
Fantastic. Oh, sorry. My feet are a little cold. Can you turn the heat on my feet?
Not only that, but they're also massaging seats.
Of course.
But of course, right?
Of course.
Well, would you expect anything less with this level of magnificence? And as we see in the picture, look at its ceiling.
Yes.
Yes, it has 366 LEDs and 162 flashing lights in the suede headliner. And I'm going to steal a quote here. They are meant to resemble a starry night sky complete with shooting stars.
Oh. Now, what's the other manufacturer that does that?
Rolls-Royce.
That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes. So
that's crazy.
In the 4-seat configuration like we're looking at now, you get this partition between the driver and the passengers Well, the
Oh.
two of them, right? Almost like you'd see in a limo sort of thing. They even have a picture of the seat in the clouds with the heating zones. Oh my God.
Oh, this is the partition.
Yes, and
Wow.
in that partition can rise a 32-inch entertainment screen. Can we talk about that for just a second?
Wow.
When you were growing up, think back to your childhood.
Mm-hmm.
What was the size of the TV in your living room?
Probably 24 inches.
I remember very vividly, and I remember it being a big deal.
Yeah.
My mom got a 27-inch TV,
Right.
and that was like, oh shit, baby.
It's big.
Can you imagine this thing? And this has a 32-inch screen.
That's crazy. I remember trips going up to see relatives up north, and we had a little teeny, probably 12-inch display that we'd put in the middle and hook the GameCube up and play Super Smash and Mario and whatnot. And this is just a beautiful 32-inch with massaging seats and all that. Holy moly.
Yep. Apparently, you also get a cabin talk system to allow your rear passengers to talk to the driver and vice versa.
Oh, right, because it's blocked off.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Oh, yes. And just in case you weren't aware, this is obviously passenger-centric, so this is catering to those with a chauffeur.
Yes.
Apparently, it's catering so much to the passengers that it's got 21 speakers, 16 of which are all in the back. So the driver, you'll get 5.
All right. So you can either take the family around with 6 seats, right? Or you can take 2 people in absolute luxury from point A to point B.
Yes.
That's wild.
Yes.
And it's Buick.
And it's Buick. And especially in that 4-seat configuration, you also get, you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
A 13-liter drink fridge.
Whoa.
That's pretty big.
Whoa.
You
That's cool.
So you essentially have a bedroom. You have a TV. You have a fridge. You have the night sky above you. You have massaging and heated seats. You have, oh my God.
It's better than a bedroom.
It is.
Wow.
Oh my God.
It's just missing the sink and the toilet. And you're like, that's it.
It.
That's amazing.
It's just immense.
And it's a Buick.
It's a Buick. It's a damn Buick.
Wow.
I didn't know this was a thing.
Does it have a price?
So surprisingly, they did give us an estimate of the price based upon current exchange rates.
Right.
So it does have 3 trim levels, which they don't list, but they start at, again, based on current exchange rates, they start at about $74,500, and then they work their way up to almost $100,000, $97,000.
Really?
So hold on a second. You see, so that's what my head did as well. My brain did the same thing and went,
Actually,
it's a goddamn goodbye.
it's a good buy.
Like, if you're in the market for something big and comfortable to be taken places in, I'd buy a Buick Century minivan.
God, uttering that phrase is ridiculous.
It just, I don't know how I was able to physically say that.
Yeah. What would be the competition for this? Rolls-Royce, right?
Well, is it? Because they don't make vans.
They don't. Yeah. Who makes a van that would compete with this?
Nobody. Toyota makes the Sienna. It's nothing like this.
No, not even
Honda
close.
makes the Odyssey. It's nothing like this. The Dodge Caravan, nothing like this. Chrysler Town and Country, nothing like this.
Wow.
Sure, they're vans, but the vans we have in the States are vans because you accidentally had too many kids and you couldn't fit them in an SUV. Those kind of vans.
So is this the equivalent of the Chinese ballers like Maserati?
I don't know.
I don't know what this is.
I don't know. But now let me pose you the question. You're an American buyer. Say they offer this here at $100,000. We're playing hypothetical.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather, and again, you're buying this to be driven in it, not to drive. Would you rather buy this for, say, $100,000, or we'll call it the Mercedes Maybach big SUV
Yeah, I've
for
seen that.
like 250.
I would love for you to show up in a tux with a nice cap on
Yep.
and drive me and my wife to dinner in this thing.
Yep.
All day long.
How can you not rather save $150,000 on pretty much everything that could potentially be considered its competition when you have 18-way adjustable massaging 5-zone heated seats and 13-liter drink fridge, and it's amazing.
It is amazing.
And it's a minivan, and it's a Buick,
It's a Buick.
and it's in China. Oh my God!
It's
what
a Buick
the hell?
Century.
I don't understand life anymore.
That's amazing. This is way better than any supercar. This is amazing.
No Koenigsegg with
No.
the manual automatic thing. No GT3 RS. No
No.
Lamborghini.
It's a Buick Century. It's a Buick Century. That's all that has to be said. It's amazing.
It's a Buick Century minivan
Yes, it is.
that we're never going to see.
Absolutely not. But we would love one if we could get one. All right. How many Buick Centuries can you buy with the Buick Century?
I have to know. Hold on. Hold on. I have to know. Buick Century price.
Wouldn't that be the most amazing trade for a dealer? You would go to the Buick dealer and be like, hey, man, I got a Buick Century, but I'd like to trade it in for like 20 Buick Centuries.
That's actually the correct amount.
Yes!
Because on average, the average cost of a used Buick Century is a little over $5,000.
Perfect. You
5
could buy
times 20
of them
5 times 20 is $100,000.
with your Buick Century. Yeah.
Else. Oh, so yeah, that's the last bit of news I got for you.
That's amazing.
So yeah, I guess that's going to wrap us up then for episode 137. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please leave us a thumbs up on the video and drop a comment. Let us know, would you rather buy a Buick Century minivan or any of its competition, whether it's the Rolls-Royce Cullinan or the Bentley Bentayga or a Maybach SUV? You let us know in the comments. As well, if you're on audio, send us a message on social. Let us know, because I am freaking curious. If you're listening on audio, please leave us a 5-star rating and a review on your platform of choice, right? Apple, Spotify, Google, all that. Would love to have you. And don't forget, follow us on social. We're on social, so are you. Facebook is We Are Auto. YouTube is We Are Auto. Instagram is We Are Auto _. And our website, which frankly is amazing, it's weareauto.io. Head out there, check out some of your favorite past races. So again, thanks so much. Catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.